This smile is my recovery.
The journey into the addiction of gambling was insidious and very subtle.
It triggers something in your brain that makes you feel good, and it's an easy way to escape.
I would basically come in whenever I had the financial means to do so and kind of isolate myself. So I was an escape gambler at that point. But it did all start with a $5 free spin.
The money is a way to stay in action, for sure. For me, it never was about the money. It doesn't matter if I won $1,000, if I won $100, if I won $10. It didn't matter if I was betting a penny or betting $4. It was just the act of, pressing that button, or however you go about your gambling. For me, it was slot machines.
My wife, after we got married, some years afterwards, became a problem gambler.
Gambling just helped me become numb. And it took me a really long time to figure out that you can numb the bad things, but you numb everything when you numb, right? You numb the good things and the bad things. What was once really, really fun and just something that I would go do with friends became a tiny little dark smoky box that I couldn't get out of if my life depended on it. And there came a point when my life depended on it.
I think it was just fun, and the repetitive nature of the machine, the flashy lights, the noises, it's seemed like it was fun. It seemed to make it fun or like gratifying. It had just become such a problem that that's all I wanted to do was gamble.
I knew that I had a problem, and I knew I wanted to do something about it. I just didn't know how. And my pride was so big that I didn't want to ask for help either.
I don't think there's anything more lonely than being completely isolated and alone in that addiction.
It caused a lot of problems, a lot of anger, and all the negative emotions you can imagine. All the anguish, the resentment, the feeling of betrayal. Finally, the only thing that ultimately kind of broke that cycle was I started seeking counseling, and then finally encouraged my wife to do that herself, with or without me.
When people wonder what's wrong with you, and they want to help you, and they know that something's really wrong, but they're afraid to ask, there's too much stigma, there's too much blame around, ask it. Are you addicted? What are you addicted to? How long have you been addicted?
If I had somebody that told me that I was worth something back then, I might have believed them.
It may not change that day. You may see him the next day in there, but you might have started the process of change.
Once I accepted the fact that I no longer was in control, once I stepped foot in that casino, that's when I finally really began to get some serious recovery. Once I started being honest with myself, then it was like, oh yeah, something needs to change.
If it wasn't for my recovery family, that I like to call it, I wouldn't be sober today. I wouldn't be able to walk away from a casino today.
There's other people out there with very similar experiences and issues at different levels of problem, and that was very much comforting and helpful to be able to connect with them. A very different experience than trying to connect with friends of yours or colleagues at work that, talking about that issue, that have not had that experience.
Recovery to me is a process of learning how to live my life in a different fashion than what I was accustomed to.
You have to take care of yourself first and foremost, and then find creative ways to get the loved one who's the gambler help. There's things I learned along the way, like just meditation and deep breathing and just positive thinking. I like outdoor activities like walking, like hiking and backpacking.
There's a difference between being in recovery and being abstinent. Recovery is a process. It's everyday process, morning, noon, and night. But it's so fulfilling.
I participate with Muckleshoot's canoe family, which is a huge part of my recovery. Being immersed in my culture makes me feel proud. I think it's, paying homage to our ancestors and being a proud people and traveling these waterways the way that we used to travel them and participating in these ceremonies that we used to participate in. When you're trying to live your life in a better way, you have to focus on many different aspects. And for me, those aspects are physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And participating in Canoe Journey has all of those things.
Recovery to me means that I have finally become my authentic self and that I can live my life with integrity and that I can be in relationship with people. I think the one thing that gambling stole from me more than anything was the time that I could have spent with my family, and that's time that I will never get back.
When I got help, I finally won my life back. I went from absolutely nothing, I've lost everything, and just completely fell apart too. I've rebuilt my life, I've been back in school, I've learned about this, and I want to help others now.
Oh, I have an awesome life now. Now I wake up in the morning, I have a purpose in life. My granddaughter is going to be taken care of when I'm not here. And knowing that my granddaughter is not going to have to see the ugliness that I made, that she's going to see grandma, the one that she cherishes, and that's all she has to see. It's an awesome feeling knowing that I'm doing the right thing. Having a purpose in life for me it's a miracle. It's a real miracle. I recall when I was deep in my addictions, I used to pray at night like I do now, but I would pray for the complete opposite. I would pray that the Creator would take my breath from me, Now that I'm in recovery, I pray that I wake up every morning so I can help somebody else. That's what the purpose in life is.
Thinking about my life right now and all that I have in it, I don't even know when I had time to gamble. I paint, I love to do oil painting. And I ride horses. Animals don't judge. They're curious and they just love you for you. There's just an instant bond and there's a knowing with a horse. I have all the time in the world. I have time for friends, I have time for family, I have time for relationships. It's just a bigger, deeper, broader, more colorful world.
I'm a miracle sitting here. There are days when I wake up and I feel pure, knowing that you're okay and you haven't done something to affect somebody else in a negative way is an awesome feeling.
No matter how far down you've gone, it's possible to bounce back and come back from that and be able to just improve your quality of life. You're perfectly capable of making the right decisions and changing your life for the better.
People in my life know that I love them and know that they're a priority, and that's a gift.
For anyone thinking that, I'm in this bind and I'm in it alone, that's not true. There's resources out there more than there ever have been in the past, and there's definitely hope.
Every day I wake up now, there's hope that I'm going to be a better person than I was yesterday.